What about you boys up here?
Oh dear, I think I might tip the Swans, Drew. It's very difficult for teams visiting Sydney.
Well, I'm going to go for Sydney as well.
Righto, we get underway. Dennis Carroll won the toss and the Swans are going left to right in the first quarter. Nettlebeck, the hand pass through to Lawson, who was in heavy traffic there. Goes without it. Good to see Doolan getting the first kick of the game. High to full forward. West charges at it. Mitchell in there. There was some doubt about Barry Mitchell playing, but he's out there in the 18. Steve Wallace takes the ball to the boundary line and will have a boundary throw. Well, I'll also say the Sydney Swans, but well, I've got none out of 5 for the weekends. Why would you bother asking me?
Well, it was mentioned yesterday that it's a tipster's nightmare, Drew, and the performances of the teams are very, very difficult to predict. Here's a chance now for Kelly. He's well tackled by Wallace. And at right half forward for the Sydney Swans, we have not a boundary throw in. There's a free kick. It's going to Steve Wallace. And maybe Kelly being penalised there for not moving the ball on. And Wallace's kick is not bad, but it's been brilliantly marked back there by Tundridge. He plays on quickly, kicks it back towards half forward, and there's a good mark. An excellent mark taken for the Swans by Andrew Dunkley, who Ross is a new player for the Swans.
Yes, and he's 23 years old, Robbo, from North Launceston, drafted in November.
Nettlebeck's kick, after taking the hand pass up towards full forward. West, that kick slews off the side of his boot, and it's out on the full, and West, a late inclusion in the side.
Yes, Leon Higgins is the player who's missed out, and Barry Mitchell, as we mentioned earlier, has taken his place.
West originally dropped and named as an emergency, winning a reprieve here. Tunbridge up high but can't take the mark. Lawson bundled off it. Atkins tries one off the ground. McPherson back there for Footscray. Puts the hand pass wide to Toohey against his old team. Bernard Toohey played 129 games for the Swans. And here's good mark taken by Andrew McGovern from Claremont's premiership team in Perth last year. Kick by McGovern and finding plenty of space is Brunton. Neil Brunton to full forward. A lead by Strooper, but a very poor kick by Brunton. He keeps it in. Brunton, no, he didn't. Just taken over the boundary line by Strooper for a throw-in.
There's the interchange bench for the Swans. Terry Thrip and Gareth John.
Great to see Gareth John back.
My word, he looked a sick and sorry man last year when he was hurt. Steve McPherson, caught by Carroll. Not a bad tackle. No free kick given away, which is sometimes a little bit difficult when you tackle from behind. And the ball is at half forward for the Sydney Swans. They've done the attacking so far in the game. The reserves, Footscray reserves, won quite comfortably. They kicked 22-25 to Sydney Swans 13-18, and Ballantyne kicked a bag full. There's nearly a mark. No, Mitchell kicks the first goal of the game. Well, for a man that was supposedly not to take his place in the team, Barry Mitchell has been in the action early and got the first goal. The Swans lead 1-0.
Yes, and in the action here we see Brunton has done very well so far. West nearly played that mark, but ball play on, and Mitchell a very clever goal there from that player who I think is an absolute inspiration.
Yes, well, statistics show that he was a very, very important player last year and didn't even get a vote in the 1991 Brownlow medal. Swans go forward once again. Doolan's a chance at 50 metres. Gathers. It was an awkward ball. Gets the hand pass over. Strooper caught. Nearly running onto it was Dunkley. Footscray repel and kick it back towards the vacant wing area. Tundridge taps the ball to his own advantage. The Shepherd is on. Smith trying to get past. Does a good tackle, but Tundridge too big and too strong. Across to Bays. Bays kick up towards the 50-metre line. High flyers wanted. Wine gets back to do the ruck work across half-back. Well done. Sexton to relieve for Footscray and kicks it high, but there's a mark to be taken out there for the Swans by Dale Lewis.
Kick by Lewis up towards the 50-metre line. Not well directed. And the mark taken by Baxter. It was only about a half distance pass, but straight to the opposition. Baxter back towards centre wing. Coleman flies, almost drags down the mark. Smith keeps it going forward, fires out the hand pass. This is good play. Kellett approaches 50, goes for a long kick. Not a great kick. shocker, really. Out of bounds in the forward pocket.
Gee, his vision wasn't very good there either, Drew. He had Del Rey by himself, only about 20 metres in front of him. Could have been a neat pass and could have resulted in a goal.
On the bench, Mansfield and Brian Royal. Boundary throw in the forward pocket. Tunbridge palms it back. McGovern needs to be good here. Mitchell helps him out and Mackenzie rushes it behind.
Well, percentage football there by Warren Mackenzie.
It's the sensible thing to do, Robbo, wasn't it?
My word. Now, the Swans come towards the near side. It was McGovern kicking in. Mackenzie doing the tackling. Kelly's a chance. Tackled by Hawkins, but gets the ball away. Now it's with Kapler. Kapler's kick, not bad. And the mark is taken by Dunkley. Dunkley onto the left foot. Oh, he gives it up a little too easily there. Wallace runs away. Handball to Atkins. Creative football across half-back by the Bulldogs. Away to Hunter. Hunter goes straight towards goal. Inside 50. Marking contest. Good punch. Ball still at half-back. Now Footscray. A chance to get clear.
Gee whiz, there was a fair bit of work off the ball there. Goodness me.
It's Hawkins. Is it on the bottom of the pack with...
with Darren Holmes. They've been niggling ever since play started.
And Hawkins finishes up with the free kick. Having a real good look further afield for someone to pass it to, but he's going to have to bomb away. The torpedo punt kick, not bad. Up wide of the square. Punched away by the Swans. Chance now for Grant. And it's eventually, no, still Kolonyuk. Now it probably hits the behind post in the finish. And it's out of bounds in that left forward pocket for Footscray.
Interesting to see how Footscray's forward line works after Ballantyne and Charles were both dumped to the reserves. Tunbridge goes towards the boundary line, doesn't find the safety of it. Here's Del Rey back in the seniors. A centering kick could be useful. Punch back, that was a little bit dangerous for the Swans there by Brunton. Fired out to Kellett, hooks back to goal, not bad. Goal to the Bulldogs.
Good effort there by Keller too. The fellow dropped over, like just can't pick him up, a Footscray player. He's not very well.
Smith.
Is it Smith? Just watching this on replay again. It was actually Mitchell's ball back into play, which wasn't all that clever. He should have come to the boundary line. Lewis, a very good smother, but the rebound coming to Keller, and he did execute a very good kick, resulting in a goal.
Footscray lead by a point. Swans go to right half forward, but Bulldogs have got the numbers. Foster just bumped off the football. Maybe it wasn't fairly, so the player's allowed to go on. Footscray clear back towards half-back. Baxter. Now Coleman. Tap on. Chance here for Wallace. Overruns it. Getting back for the Swans was Wheeler. Now an opportunity for Grant. His left foot kick to the front of the goals. Del Rey, perhaps a little slow. Kick off the ground by Brunton. Goes back towards the centre. Wind. A good kick in towards the pocket, and a mark is taken by Smith. And this young boy is doing very well in his debut season for the Footscray side.
There's some good work by Wine to get that ball quickly across there to Smith, and a good grab under a bit of pressure too from the young fellow.
Played quite well against St Kilda a couple of weeks ago. His kick from 35 metres out directly in front is a goal. Second goal to Footscray, first goal to Rowan Smith. Bulldogs 2-1, lead Sydney one straight goal.
There's some preparedness of Terry Wheeler to persist with some younger players is paying off here. Smith having played about 7 reserves games last year. And there we see the Ryan pass, getting there quickly enough for Ryan to take a very big pardon for Rowan Smith to take a very strong mark, and he did finish off very well.
Back in the middle. Tunbridge beats Wine. That'll be a great contest. Both been in top form. Kelly underneath the pack. Not coming clear. Umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Ball's wrapped up with Bernard Toohey pretty quickly. just forward of the centre circle for the Swans. Tunbridge and Wind again, give it to Wind this time, but it comes straight to Doolan. End on end, it bounces to full forward. Hacked out of there by Campbell towards the boundary line. Hunter leads the race. Mitchell after him, the two number 10s. Kicked by Mark Hunter round the corner. Doolan minus a couple of teeth courtesy of Craig Kelly last week. And great to see him not missing a game as a result of that. Into Tunbridge, awkward half volley for the big man. Drives it to half forward. Campbell, well placed. The Swans over the top of him. West, no mark.
Yes, he's paid a draw. I think he has. But I'd play that fair. He had a couple of grabs at it. Two good strong grabs at it. He was first with hands on the footy. See once again, West the fly from the side. Drag coming down. Good enough.
West from 47 metres. A poster.
Jim West, we've already mentioned, came into the Swans side in place of Leon Higgins. And if you've just tuned in, Barry Mitchell is in the team and kicked the first goal for the Swans. That kick in has been marked by Lewis. Lewis kicks it into the pocket. Good lead and a good mark on his chest taken by Strooper.
Might not be a bad forward setup that Gary Buckenara has employed here today. He has West and Strooper in the full forward line with Dennis Carroll at centre half forward. All good mobile, strong marking players.
And just a young man, David Strooper, at his second league club, formerly with Fitzroy. The kick for goal is offline, and it's a behind to the Sydney Swans. So the Swans progress to 1-2. Bulldogs are 2-1. Footscray leading by 5 points as Tony Campbell prepares to kick it back into play for Footscray.
Matching gloves.
Gareth John there on the boundary line, just limbering up in preparation maybe to take his place on the ground. That kick by Campbell is okay. Well past the 50-metre line. Atkins, was that a throw? Gee, got that out quick, Ross. Rowan Smith rather. Kick towards centre half forward. Delray can't quite gather. Grant, handball away. Coleman, further away. Callett, inside 50, goes for goal. The drop punt kick looks all right. No, it just floats away to the left and through for a behind to Footscray. So Footscray 2-2 lead, the Swans 1-2, and we've got about 20 minutes left in this first quarter.
Nigel Kellett's been pretty damaging so far from his wing. Playing on Doolan. Kick in. Wind in front, a great mark. Oh, he's given the hand pass straight away to Brunton, but he's been allowed to come back and take his kick.
He was knocked out of his hand.
Yes, that's what I thought.
His teammate.
Grant, not quite the mark, but he's got the recovery. Caught in the tackle. Mitchell takes the hand pass. He's buried. Oh, Colin, brilliant. Kick not so brilliant. And Delray can't keep it in. We'll have a throw in.
Just seemed very untidy, didn't it? He made all the good work to get through that traffic there. Came out and just very, very sloppily just dropped on his left boot.
That's the only criticism you have of Steve Koloniuk. He's such an exciting young player, but just doesn't quite finish his work off. In that right forward pocket now, the Swans are under pressure. They kick the ball back towards the 50-metre line. Smith, well done, showed a bit of strength and courage. Back to Callett. Callett's kick across his body is all right into the front of the square. Punched away. Chance for McPherson. Dragged off the football. Now Wheeler under pressure. Kicks it back. Steve Wallace. Away to Atkins. In turn to Liberatore. Liberatore with the right foot. Kicks a goal. Well done, Tony Liberatore. And the pocket battleship. Tony Liberatore gets his first goal and kicks Footscray's third. They lead 3-2 to 1-2.
And this is a difficult kick too. As you see Lawson trying to get the ball off the ground there. Atkins, who's been tagged by Brunton. It's a difficult kick for Liberatore on the right. He's not a very penetrating kick, but also good work by Del Rey in the square there to help shepherd the ball through.
Tunbridge takes clean possession from the bounce in the middle. Through Bays and Mitchell it goes. Doolan a little hand pass across. And a long one by Brunton is offline and through for a behind. Brunton in the middle on Atkins. So that's a big task for a man who showed a lot of patience to stay around for a long time with the Swans, getting reserves games before being called up into the seniors. Local from Parramatta, Tony Campbell. High mark, no. Foster there. Doolan the hand pass to Carroll. He's left-footed a full forward. Well positioned. West? No. Wheeler. Well, good smother by McPherson. And good blind kick along the ground, across the half-back line. Kellett gets the hand pass back to Hunter. And here's Smith up near centre wing. Coleman with Bayes. They both lost sight of that. Bit of strength there. Dennis Carroll.
Carroll's lovely long hand pass just forces Doolan to wait for it. He's caught by Kellett. Away goes Foster now for Footscray. Kicks it towards half forward. Player on his own is Collingham. Rebound footy costing the Swans. It came back ever so quickly when they looked as though they were going to take it into their full forward area. What a great lead and wonderful pass by Collingham and marked by Hawkins.
And Darren Holmes has to be very careful not to give away 50 metres. It's a bit close. It was a wonderful pass, Robbo. Lace out.
Now Hawkins, Ross surely would get the distance.
Without doubt, no problem.
And he's such a talented player, Doug Hawkins. I would think that he'd kick it fairly accurately. It holds up, but I think it's got it through. And it is a goal. So well done, Doug Hawkins. It looks as though there may be a little bit of breeze blowing to this near side. That ball looked as though it was going to the right, but just curled back a little bit and got through for Doug Hawkins' first goal.
But I think we see the nice kick coming in from Collingham again, a good lead. But I think the players will appreciate a little bit of breeze. I think it's going to be very warm out there, and that ground's going to be very firm, particularly in the centre where the cricket wickets are.
Good start by the Bulldogs. 4-2 to 1-3. Lawson out of the middle for the Swans. He took one step too many and lost it. Wallace, the hand pass back. Tui gets the hand pass up the ground to McPherson. Bouncing inside half forward. Hawkins after it with Holmes. Holmes. Lewis will take a free kick for the Swans. Against Rowan Smith. Kicked by Dale Lewis. Short of half forward. Another big climb and almost a mark that Dunkley has taken two already. It'll be a Footscray free to Tui. And they're getting men out in the open. Here's Collingham with a space of about 20 metres. Up to half forward now. Lead by Delray. Too easy. And Danny Delray well within kicking distance on the 50. He's a long kicker of the ball and leads the goal kickers in the reserves, which is now the Victorian State Football League, 14 goals.
And was involved in that barrage of goals 2 weeks ago when Footscray Reserves kicked 17 goals in one quarter of football, last against St Kilda.
Going for the Bulldogs' fifth goal, Danny Delray. A beauty. Well, Footscray 5-2 lead the Swans 1-3.
Yes, that's certainly a very good start. Their last outing here wasn't a good one. And the pass again and the work coming upfield from Collingham. And Delray, a good mobile player. I mentioned he has played fullback as well as full forward. He does like that full forward position, and he did finish that off very well.
It certainly was a good kick by Danny Delray. Good distance, good accuracy. And the Swans are winning it out of the centre, but they can't do much with it. Kelly smothered. Steve Wallace, great in those tight clinches. So is Atkins. He's in amongst it. Just gets his foot to it. Enough to get it clear, but Wheeler is there. His kick smothered. Carroll. Shepherd then allows Lewis a path. Up towards full forward. Oh, a little push out there by Strooper. Allowed to be seen as fair. Now West. Kicked by that player in the front of the square. Good work. Excellent work. Applauded by fellow commentator Ross Glendenning. That was terrific, Ross.
Well, it was very good work there. Just going back West to give his teammate Strooper a bit of a pat, but it was a very, very good kick under a bit of pressure and the foresight to see his teammate running into the open space and effected a very good pass.
And I'm sure Terry Wheeler would be concerned with Matthew Wheeler, loose right in front of the square, and from there he made no mistake. So Matthew Wheeler gets his first goal, but more importantly for the Swans, they do kick back. They're 2-3, but they trail the Bulldogs, who are 5-2.
Yes, Footscray certainly controlling the game at the moment. And here that Tony Campbell just getting a bit of a nudge under the footy here. And West giving Strooper someone to kick the ball to, handball the ball to, and a very fine kick from West there. Wheeler just drifting down off the wing, read the play very well.
Sydney fans starting to find some voice. A much needed goal that. Bulldogs by 17 points. Ruckman face each other again. Wine wins this one. Swans have the crummers. Carroll. High ball to half forward. Punched away by Foster. He's done pretty well so far, Andrew Dunkley, in his first league game. Tasmanian, who actually previously played for St Kilda in the under-19s. Number 40 for the Swans. Wine tries clean possession. He's robbed of it. Mitchell up the ground. McPherson for Footscray. Going backwards but finding some time. High kick, no distance. Oh, I'm glad it's you, not me, Darren Baxter. Carroll. Hand pass too far. McPherson caught, drops it in the tackle. Comes up the ground to Mitchell. They've got some space now. West. Yes, no. Taken by Lawson. Snaps it back. Not far enough behind. Well, West has taken two halves of marks and one that was just paid. He's nearly taken three beauties.
Quite right.
Yes, I think he'd probably be a little frustrated as Campbell kicks in. Baxter's on his own at half-back for Footscray. He's got plenty of time to steady. Kicks it to the advantage of Foster, who's run all the way from centre half-back. Great running there by Peter Foster, and he marks on centre wing. Plays on quickly, the favoured left foot in towards half-forward. Grant punched away by Kapler. Now Footscray get the ball up towards full forward. Hawkins is there. You can see that there's not much he can do about it. And it goes through for one behind. Kick there by Simon Atkins. Atkins, a prolific possession gatherer for Footscray. The kick in should have been really marked there by Bays. Now a chance for Smith. He's very hard at the football. He gives away ground. Atkins tackled by Doolan. Spills to Bays. He turned to Mitchell. He gives it away. Kellett runs hard, fiercely, and kicks it into the pocket. Well done, Kellett. And he picks out Coleman, who is 45 metres from goal, but the angle is quite a difficult
one. He's protected by the stand there, Ian, but he's had some experience up here. Glenn Coleman will certainly make the distance, I would think.
Hawkins having a bit of a pushing and shoving match in the goal square. Coleman has done very, very well for himself. Fitzroy, Swans, and now Footscray, and a very healthy tally of matches. Good kick. That could have nearly gone through for a goal. It has. Well done, Glenn Coleman. He gets his first goal. All Footscray's goals are singles. Liberatore, Smith, Del Rey, Coleman, Hawkins and Kellett. And for the Swans, one each to Mitchell and Wheeler.
Yes, and again, Colin, this Kellett here involved here. A very good pass. Coleman giving himself a chance, breaking free from Bays for a moment. That's a very, very good kick from that area.
Ball gets back to the centre pretty quickly here at the SCG. Such a short ground. The Swans getting it out. Doolan comes wide. McGovern inside half forward. West almost again. Baxter. Half volley for Wallace. He's caught by Lewis. Lawson in there. Good touch by Lawson. Mitchell a bit slow. Wallace, Liberatore and Footscray out of trouble. Kick by Liberatore up the centre wing, Chris Grant. Well, Footscray dominating so far. Baxter doubled up well. He's come right up from the back line. Kick by Baxter, wide for Del Rey. He's got the break on Mackenzie.
They have opened up very well, Drew. They're obviously very disappointed with their performance last week, and the players' preparedness to run today is certainly very evident.
And Drew, you saw the Swans play last week. Their commitment nowhere near as fierce as it was last week, obviously.
No, that's right. They were terrific against Collingwood at Victoria Park. Del Rey's kicked one from 50 metres. Here's another one. Angle a bit difficult, just across the face. Bays keeps it in. Thumps a long one out of defence. The two number 4. Kellett's winning this one on Doolan so far. Round the corner he goes to Collingwood, who ran pretty hard at it. Back to Kellett. He's up to about a dozen or double figures in possessions already. Lewis camped in defence and take the mark.
Yeah, another poor kick there by Footscray, giving the ball away. The Swans now. Lewis to Kapler. Kapler looked as though he was nearly trying to kick it there to Peter Foster. Still in a winnable position on centre wing. Chance there for Dunkley. Gets around and kicks it up to the 50-metre line. Brilliant gather by Brunton. The kick to the front of the goals was disciplined, but there was no one home. Hunter's there for Footscray. He handballs it away to Hawkins. Hawkins kicks it high, up towards the centre of the ground. Smith punched away. Collinuk, Wheeler there for the Swans. Now a chance for Kellett, smothered brilliantly by Kelly. Kelly, sweeping hand pass, Brunton, away to Mitchell from 50 metres. Mitchell goes with the left foot. Oh, good mark! He's got it eventually, Jimmy West. And he plays on and kicks the goal.
No, he's going to come back now. Cross money, he's come back after his mark. A good strong marker use of the body. Came from behind, got himself to the side, and the finish just too strong. Good body work there on Ben Sexton.
And West, as we have mentioned earlier in the quarter, has had his hands on 2 or 3, but he's got this one. Wouldn't it be a tragedy if he missed? No, he kicks the goal. So Jim West gets his first goal. The Swans get their third, but they trail by 17 points.
Good work midfield too from Paul Kelly and Barry Mitchell. Kelly's a player breaking through. Ball finishes up with Mitchell. A good left foot driving kick. As we mentioned, good body work from West.
Hawkins has come on the ball for Footscray. Here he is, Kelly. Kelly's been, up until that play, been kept pretty well out of it. Here he gets a kick. Had 35 possessions last week at Collingwood. Tui. Wide to centre wing. Gains ground and will have a throw in. Kelly might have damaged a finger then too, getting it out of the centre that last time. Tunbridge. Wine with a backhand to the Hawkins. Brunton gets him in a good tackle. Kelly gets the ball out. Some sort of a task being given to Brunton. Just a newcomer to league football, and Simon Atkins, who can catch it a piece.
But he's a renowned tagger who is very disciplined.
Thumped by Andrew Dunkley, gaining about 20 metres. Number 40. 23-year-old making his league debut. It's a little bit unusual.
Actually, just watching the umpires, it's interesting. There's been a comment that they stay in the corridor, but they're in a terrific position here. Peter Carey and Anton McKernan doing a good job in tandem and very much on the spot and in control of the game. Steve Wallace there in the picture. Came from Lee and Gaffer down in South Gippsland and has done pretty well, playing over 150 games so far for the Bulldogs. Here we are, chance down for Kelly. Just fumbles, able to get a hand pass away. Caught with the football was Dunkley. Now Atkins, maybe rebound footy here for the Bulldogs. Wine, Wallace, good vision. Tui running nicely from half-back. And he settles. Kicks it up towards full forward. Del Rey can't mark. Now a chance for Grant. Oh, well done. He's a very clever player. He's caught with the footy. Knocks it clear. Collinuk. Del Rey must ship it. Collinuk forced to kick with the left. Smother on. And it was well done in the finish by Darren Holmes. And his fine players streaming down the ground, doing it too easily.
Yes, there were a few players just spectating from the Sydney Swans there, not picking up their own player.
Some viewers might temporarily have lost the picture there for a moment. I hope you're seeing us clearly now.
Del Rey has the football about 45 metres from goal. He's already kicked 1 goal. And I would think he'd get the distance here too. Oh, it's a lovely kick. Danny Del Rey's kicked his second. 2 goals to Del Rey makes him the only multiple goal scorer at this stage. Footscray 7-3 lead the Swans, who are 3-4.
And with the move of Del Rey to full forward, it takes a bit of pressure off Chris Grant and Doug Hawkins to be the main goal scorers. And he's certainly opened up the game very well. It's been a little bit too mobile at the moment for Warren McKenzie.
Raved about the look of Footscray's forward line in the Foster's Cup with Valentine, Charles and Adrian Campbell. All those players in the reserves, and it's Del Rey doing the business. Flick forward well there. There's a bit of a wrestle going on behind play. Wind involved. They shape up towards each other. Here's the siren for quarter time, and that is an opening quarter dominated by Footscray to the extent that they lead 7-2-44 to the Swans 3-4-22.
So the second term about to start here at the Sydney Cricket Ground with Footscray holding a 22-point advantage. Tunbridge gets up high. Chance for Mitchell. Hand pass across to Doolan. His kick is a bit of a scrubber. Toohey strong. Still at the football, Bernard Toohey. Knocked on there by Dunkley. Now the Bulldogs get it back towards the wing. It goes to the rear. Chance for Kapler. Kapler's kick is not bad. And it was nicely weighted there for Kelly, who marks left half forward for the Swans. Paul Kelly kicking towards the forward pocket, and a mark was taken for the Swans by Nettlebeck.
Yes, he caught Bernard Toohey napping there. The lead had come out from Strooper, but Nettlebeck just floated in front, and Toohey had no idea where the ball was on that occasion.
This guy can play football, but
tends to drift in and out of the game too much.
He goes a bit of walkabout, doesn't he?
Just a lack of concentration.
He's got a fair amount of ability though, and should kick this goal. Stutters, and eventually it slides off the side of his boot up into the goal square. No mark taken. Liberatore working at a very hard rate. Baxter kicks it out. Now a chance for the Swans. Carroll chopping it off is Hunter. Hunter's kick goes back towards the wing. Marking contest, nearly taken there by McGovern. Now a chance for Steve Wallace, but chopped off by Brunton. Gets the ball to Kelly, and Kelly kicks it high in towards full forward. Wine just goes underneath it. Campbell. Hand pass went to no one in particular. Wine. McPherson gets back, and Tony Campbell eventually holding it in, so the umpire being forced now to bounce.
And he wouldn't have had too many complaints if that hand pass had been ball throw over his head, would he? Just turned the wrong way, Tony Campbell. Wind in ruck. Ball comes underfoot. Tug of war going on there. Hacked out of the pack. Or behind.
I think it's Kelly.
Yep, Paul Kelly.
Yes, Paul Kelly.
Well, that was certainly the scoring end in the first quarter, but we can't blame any breeze. Footscray definitely had the better of the opening term. Campbell's kick in. Foster in the middle of two. Carroll. Kellett just inside the boundary line. He ducks Doolan. Well played by Kellett. Good poise. Foster. He just went straight through four of them.
And should not have got through there.
Handed that ball from Tunbridge. Kapler a bit of a fumble. He did that a lot last week against Collingwood. A hand pass back to McGovern. On to Bays. Raking left footer. High to the 50-metre line. Lewis at the back.
He read that very well. Nettlebeck in the front, but Lewis, who's a very finely skilled player, just drifted in very nicely.
Dropping in the hole is Nettlebeck. And this is going to be about 20 metres closer to goal than his last. Dishes off the hand pass to Kelly. He's cornered and gone. Back to Nettlebeck. They've mucked it up. He breaks the tackle. Back to Lewis, who had it in the first place. Hoisted high. This is pretty close. That's a goal. Was that a shot for goal or a pass?
Well, they got the result they wanted, but by gee, they made hard work of it. Nettlebeck should have gone back. He's obviously unsure of himself from that previous kick out from a similar position, but gee, he put pressure on Kelly. It was a terrific kick there. Great talent.
Yes, he's an excellent player, Dale Lewis, and particularly on that left side, a very, very skillful player. 44 plays 29. The Swans get the first goal of the second term. Wine forced to kick quickly up towards centre half forward. Bounce awkward, good for Del Rey, and he pops through. Such an easy goal. Del Rey gets his third goal, and Footscray answer very, very quickly. 8-2 plays 4-5.
Warren McKenzie there really did the right thing. He was in front, he attacked the footy, just because of this firm surface. Wine doing some very good work in the centre there. Perhaps could have had his hands out and a little better than that, but he certainly had no option but to charge at the footy as he did. And Del Rey, being the forward, had the option to sit behind and get the easy kick.
Yes, well, I suppose you have to give Lady Luck a bit of a pat on the back there. Tunbridge takes the ball out of the centre, gives it to Doolan. Doolan from a standing position, kicks towards half forward. The mark is taken by Nettlebeck.
He's giving Bernard Toohey the slip at the moment.
Short pass.
Did
little bit too fierce. Hunter, desperate. McPherson, caught, ducked into Lawson's tackle. Liberatore, Campbell just gets his foot to it. Atkins can't quite mark the ball. Still at centre-half forward. Mitchell struggling to get into it. West, high ball, in towards the goal square, and the mark is taken by Campbell, and he was really the only one going straight for the footy. Handball away. Sexton, kick out towards the half-back position. Grant takes a good mark. He's getting into the play now, Chris Grant. Handball over the top to Atkins, and the Bulldogs get it up towards their 50-metre line. Kick it towards that position, but it's punched away by McKenzie, and we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward for Footscray, about 70 metres around from their goal.
Matthew Wheeler with a bit of ice on his thigh.
Kicked a goal in the first quarter. Coleman goes in ruck against Tunbridge. Doolan overruns, backhands the ball for Mitchell. Good play by Mitchell. Still struggling just a little bit. Up to half forward, yes. Good mark taken by Dunkley. To full forward. Well trapped by Sexton. Back to centre wing. Doolan. Oh, he's right in the face. Might lose another tee. Back to Grant. Liberatore. Here's kick to full forward. Del Rey proving a real problem for Mackenzie. Well played, Smith. He's a class act. Breaks the tackle. Just can't quite get the hand pass away. McPherson. Smith will tackle before he had it. And high. And the free kick against Fripp.
Yes, he's a bit too strong there, Terry Tripp. He's a very good tackler and a strong player. Modelled himself a bit on Bernard Toohey when he was at the Swans. That tackle was definitely high. See this again. There it is. No question.
So right in front, Rowan Smith, under 19's best and fairest last year at Footscray. Kicking from inside 50. Looks good. Just to the right. 1-1 for Smith.
Now Mackenzie to kick the ball back into play for the Swans. They trail 4-5. Footscray are 8-3. We're nearly halfway through the second term. That kick in, straight to Steve Wallace at Footscray. Now Gary Buckenara must be pretty disappointed by
some of these Swans players are nonplussed, Robert. You're quite right. Very disorganised.
Wallace is too far out to score. Looking for the short one. It's on. Into the pocket. Good lead. All Grant. Crunch to the ground unfairly. Doolan running straight at him, maybe, Ross.
Yes, he really didn't have any attempt at the football, and in that way you must not impede the run of a player as he is going to football unless you are going for the football yourself. See this again, Grant the player charging out, Doolan here, not even a look at the football whatsoever. Free kick.
Yes, good decision there by umpire Peter Carey. And Grant, chance for his first goal for the day. Only 19 years of age. What a future he's got. And look at that kick. Magnificent stuff, Chris Grant. Gets his first goal. And Footscray go marching on. They've kicked 9-3. Sydney 4-5. So the difference in favour of Footscray is 28 points.
And Robin, you said in the lead up to the game that you doubted whether, as we see Wallace throwing that pass again, you doubted the ability of the Swans to kick goals. That player's up there and it's certainly showing at the moment.
Grant looking a little sorry for himself after the Doolan clash.
Tunbridge wins in the middle. McPherson for Footscray. He's swamped. Liberatore. He's right close to the ground. Atkins tries one off the ground. Second attempt gets it and is pinged for in danger. Don't see it played too often. Free kick to Kelly.
Doesn't mind having a hoof at it, Simon Atkins.
Kick by Kelly, wide for Lewis. Foster from behind, didn't get first touch. Must have back through them. Hunter spills the ball back to Wallace. Line. Now the Swans have the numbers here. Kelly to Brunton. Kick by Brunton inside 50. Lewis works to the front and marks.
She's a good player, this young fella.
Backs himself.
Goes for the big kick from outside 50. In the goal square, almost never back, but it's kicked through by West. Well, Jim West, who wasn't in the original selected 20, has kicked 2 goals.
Yes, he's been their most effective forward. Nettlebeck's coming to the game a little bit in this quarter. He's got away from Bernard Tui. But an opportunist goal here by Jim West. He was in that pack as they all fell to the ground. He was one of the few left standing. Campbell thinking that he touched it. Not so.
Bounce back in the centre. Scott Wine, Liberatore, Mitchell, now Atkins. Long kick by that player across his body, up towards full forward. No mark taken. Del Rey a chance. Handball away. Grant tries to get through. Just got his foot to the ball. Now it's kicked away by Holmes. Back out towards half-back. No one there for the Swans. It may bounce over. It does in front of Steve Wallace.
And fortunately for the Swans that it did.
Yes, it would have come back pretty quickly. Steve Wallace just a little frustrated. Ball not sitting for him. Boundary throw in. Wine with strength. Kick off the ground by that player. Inside 50 metres. A little awkward bounce. Oh, look at Hawkins. The skill of a champion. And he's popped it through for another Footscray goal. What magnificent play. Just controlling that ball, and Doug Hawkins gets his second goal.
Yeah, it's just knowing that he had Holmes on his hammer. Never quite took full control of the football in terms of grabbing with both hands. See, there's again Wine very cleverly off the ground. He uses his brains very well, does Wine. Hawkins there, how clever is that? And a quick look at the goals, never looked like missing. Class.
Back in the middle, and Footscray winning this quarter by that goal from Hawkins.
They don't look threatening, the Swans. Footscray just controlling this in most areas. No one from the Swans has really taken the game by the scruff of the neck yet.
Well, it would be disappointing for the Swans to beat the Eagles a fortnight ago and stumble to Footscray. Umpire's going to ball that up again.
The playmaker Barry Mitchell particularly being well held by Liberatore at the moment.
Elbow heavily bandaged. Two twister by Lewis. Comes straight to Baxter. Liberatore now for Footscray. Coleman charging after it. Bays. Around the corner off the left. Swans have the numbers. Mitchell first there. Lewis. Back to Mitchell. They set that up pretty well. Tunbridge. He's got Doolan forward about 20 metres. He goes longer to half forward. But Campbell playing in front. Takes the mark comfortably in front of West. Towards the outer side. Now they have men out in the open. Wallace's hand pass wasn't great for McPherson. Lawson did well. Steve McPherson dragged the ground after he got rid of the kick. Kapler couldn't take the mark. Comes to Del Rey. He snaps. Nobody back there. A goal.
This is ridiculous.
Danny Del Rey's kicked 4 already.
Well, at times it's almost like a senior side playing a reserve side or a junior side. Some very fundamental mistakes being made by the Swans. And here we see Kapler going back, just taking his eye off the football, dropping the mark, and the goal results. Just basic fundamental errors.
Well, Del Rey has kicked 4. I think he must think that his Christmas has come early. Good bounce back in the centre. Tunbridge working very hard for his team. So is Mitchell, even though he's probably carrying a bit of an injury. Foster gets the hand pass away. Wallace's quick kick up towards centre half forward. No mark taken by Grant, but Colin the crumb gatherer, gives away a few metres. Kellett, little left foot kick in towards half forward. It's been marked by Bates. Now this is a guy that can probably lift the Swans. A 50-metre penalty, is that justified?
Well, Liberatore came in just to guard the mark and putting his arms up, just knocked the ball out, I would say unintentionally from Bay's hands, and results in 50 metres. A pretty severe penalty.
Could be a goal with the
well, he certainly
the ball with Mark Bays.
Yeah. It's certainly his distance.
That familiar left foot by Bays. It's the distance, but nowhere near the accuracy. The ball floating away to the left, and it goes out of bounds. So we'll have a throw-in in that left forward pocket for the Swans. They badly need 2 or 3 quick goals. They've got no impetus whatsoever. And the ruckman, Tunbridge, doing quite okay. Kicked away by Sexton. Slips off the side of his boot. Doolan up high, couldn't mark. Recovers well. gathers, smothered by Foster, picked up again by Doolan, kicked towards the front of the goals, but a good mark. Standing his ground, strong was the ruckman. Wind, he gets it away to Campbell. Campbell kicks it into the centre. Atkins, they'll make something out of this. Atkins to Collinuk, running with the flight of the ball. Well done, Steve Collinuk. And at 50 metres, he's got Hawkins in the pocket. And the pass, he made it good, didn't he, Ross?
Most players would have just stood to have the player coming at him face to face, but he just turned his body beautifully, guarded the football from the oncoming player.
And the pass goes away to Baxter, improves the angle, and perhaps a metre or so closer. But certainly a much easier chance here for Darren Baxter to kick a goal for Bulldogs. They lead 11-3 to 5-5. Baxter, he's kicking from only about 30 metres out. Gets hold of the drop punt, made no mistake. So Baxter gets another goal for Footscray, and it's all too predictable. Bulldogs 12-3, Swans are 5-5.
So what, at half-time, with this procession continues, Gary Buckenham is going to have to make some big changes and have some fairly severe words to his players. Some of them really are not interested whatsoever.
They've had 8 goal scorers already, Footscray, so they've shared it around. Back in the middle, a 40-point lead to Footscray, midway through the second term. Tunbridge goes over his head to Doolan. Here's Mitchell. Brunton off the left, up towards half-forward. Campbell's hand pass, trouble for Foster. Kelly. Mitchell over the top, Collinuk dragged to ground. McPherson, bit of a wrestle behind play after he got rid of that kick. Coleman. Glenn Coleman, great stuff. A bounce away and a run away from Bays. To full forward, Hawkins. Holmes interfered with the Hawk.
The umpire was in very good position there. Umpire, is that Anton McKernan? The umpire did it very well, positioned him, definitely free kick there, all over Hawkins. It was Holmes.
Dougie Hawkins had a shocker last week, and Derek Kickett gave him the run around. He's hit back today, and that's 3 already for the skipper.
Well, he and Del Rey have been far too good in that forward line. A couple of very good options there. Grant's covering half forward very well, with Coleman also slotting at centre half forward. 2 mobile, good strong marking players. Gary Buckenham there on screen would be very disappointed thus far.
Yes, he must be looking at changes that he can make, but what would you do, Ross? I mean,
well, he's limited in that area. That's his problem at the moment.
Oh, that's his commitment, surely. Good bounce. Tunbridge tries to get it out again. Atkins for Footscray. Mitchell, Doolan, Carroll, who's been very, very quiet. Kick up towards full forward. West, punched away by Campbell. Now Lewis kicks with the right and hooks the kick drastically. It's out of bounds on the full in that left forward pocket for the Swans.
Commitment is what the Swans had in their opening 2 games against the Eagles and Collingwood.
Well, this is what has to happen with a side that maybe lack a few class players. Carroll's kick to the front of the goals. No mark taken. Still a chance there for the Swans. Kick off the ground by Scrooper. No, it's gone through for a rush behind to the Sydney Swans. So they get another score on the board, but it's not what they want. They're 5-6 trailing Footscray with 13-3. Kick in, goes to the wing. Chance here for Thripp. He must kick a goal here. He bangs away. It's close. It may have gone past. No. It's been touched on the line maybe by one of his teammates.
I think, was it or was it Campbell?
Campbell may have got back there, you think, Ross? Well, it's touched through.
He had a glove on that one.
37 plays 81.
With the gloves.
Campbell kicks in.
The ruckman wrestle, Wine wins, beats Tunbridge. Atkins gets it going forward. Flipped out the back to Brunton from the centre circle to half forward. Lewis at the back, standing his ground. Sexton winning everywhere. Footscray. They'd lost their 8 visits in a row to Sydney until 2 years ago. They came up and caused a huge boil over and had a big win by 62 points. So their first win in Sydney was their last game up here. Punch from behind by Kapler. That's what he wanted to do previously and didn't when he flew for the big mark. Mitchell. Collinuk over the ball. The umpire will ball it up. He's had some pretty interesting players to stand on, Darren Kapler. Here he's got Chris Grant. He was sort of a wingman at Fitzroy mostly, but he's got to tag some pretty tall forwards now for the Swans. Brunton, the hand pass to Lewis. High ball. Nettlebeck from behind. Sexton again. The mark. Now it's Bernard Toohey.
Toohey at left half back for Footscray. Experienced campaigner. Kicks a wobbly one towards centre wing. It's punched away. McPherson at the fall of the ball. He's beaten for it by Kelly. Mitchell away. Doolan. Back it goes to Thripp. Thripp's kick. High towards centre half forward. Marking contest. No one can take it. Loose. Chance for the Swans there. A high kick by Dunkley. And he misses to the left-hand side. So when they badly need goals, they're accumulating some behinds. 5-8 to 13-3. Mind you, Footscray have done well. They've kicked easy goals, haven't they, Ross, from right in the front of the...
Some of them went too easy, yeah.
Swans combine. Mitchell on the end of the chain of hand passes. Short kick. Wallace can't mark. Hunter's in there to give him a hand. They're much better in putting the numbers where the ball is. Footscray. McPherson's kick is wide. Atkins covering some territory. Forced to kick with the left. Not bad though, into the pocket. Hawkins, can he control the football? Watch the skill? No, he can't. And it's trundled over for a boundary throw in just inside the 50-metre line. There's Doug Hawkins, a very experienced campaigner, looking to play 300 games for his beloved Bulldogs. Coleman doing the ruck work. Ball comes to the back of the pack. Lawson. Thripp. Quick kick out towards centre wing. Bounces awkwardly for those players. Toohey. Now Lewis. Lewis's kick in towards full forward. Good mark in front of his face to West.
Well, he hasn't been their worst by a long way. Oh, Lewis doubled round, and that's a courageous mark.
He knew something was coming. He wasn't too sure what it was, but he covered himself very well. Ball just carrying a little bit too far, really, but Lewis made very good ground there. Sexton could have caused some damage.
Dale Lewis has kicked a goal earlier in this quarter. Swans badly need this. No breeze to bother him at the SCG. Mid-20s the temperature. Lewis might have hooked it a bit. No, he's got it. 6-8 Sydney, 13-3 Footscray.
They're certainly kicking a lot more difficult situations, Swans, than what Footscray are. Just making such hard work with the goals. And every time they do kick one, Footscray reply very quickly.
You get the impression that this guy really doesn't know how good he is, Dale Lewis. He's a very talented player.
Oh yes, I think if he was on another side at times, he would be a far better player again.
6-8 the Swans plays Footscray, 13-3. Just over 7 minutes left in the second quarter. And I suppose if the Swans can kick the last two goals, or the next two goals rather, before the half-time siren, well, they're not out of it. Chance now for Brunton. He gets it away to Thripp. And Thripp kicks straight towards full forward. Oh yes, well done, West. And he's right within scoring distance. It's crazy how quickly one team can look as though they're going to absolutely slaughter the opposition. And then the trend of play changes. And now if West can kick this, which he has done, the Swans have kicked the last two. 3 goals to Jim West. 7-8 plays 13-3 and 31 points to Footscray.
Scott Ryan comes off the ground, Brian Royal on. And you'd almost say that the way they've been playing the Swans, they don't deserve to be in this position. But they're just nudging their way back into it. Tripp's on a few good things coming onto the ground. It was his kick that set it up to West.
Sydney, 4 goals in this quarter, 2 to West and 2 to Lewis. Ryan Royal, an All-Australian, comes on for Footscray off the bench for his first run today. Atkins to Liberatore, good vision by Libber, gets the ball over the top. Kelly, here's Royal into the play straight away in the forward pocket. Bit of a fumble first up, ball out of play.
Mind has been taken off the ground by Terry Wheeler, perhaps to have a rest, Ross, before the second half.
And Coleman goes into the ruck, which means now they've got another smaller player on the forward line, so upset the Swans back line because they're mainly tall players there.
You really got a hand of that. There was ruck interference and the free kick's going to Grant. Chris Grant scored a goal earlier in this quarter against Tunbridge, the free.
There we go. Yes, left hand around the neck. It's soft. It is soft.
Man on the mark's only about 35 metres from goal. Grant, beautiful kick.
Well, I've only got one thing to say. If the umpires can find free kicks for those sort of infringements, they could find 200 free kicks in a game of football.
They would be playing a lot, wouldn't they? Here we are, in front, it's his left arm, which is the infringing arm as the umpire saw it, around the neck of Grant, who went down just to exacerbate that a bit.
Well, they were jockeying, both of them, for position, and full marks to Tunbridge. He got in front, and fairly ordinary there. 7-8 plays 14-3. Footscray lead by 37 points, close to half-time. Tunbridge, McPherson gets his foot to the ball and kicks it towards the half-forward area, and a good mark taken by Holmes. Well done. He's got some problems minding Dougie Hawkins, but he may have been taken off Doug now. Ball on centre wing. Carroll trying to force it forward. McPherson kicks it to a vacant wing area. Just going a little slowly there was Lawson, and he's beaten for it by Grant. Grant's kick in towards the front of the goals. Well done, Del Rey. Judged it much better. He could give it off. No, Royal indicating that he should steady and have a shot.
Warren McKenzie really got sucked in under that ball, didn't he? Didn't read that at all well.
And Del Rey, who's kicked 4, a chance to kick his 5th. Four and a half minutes left in the second quarter. Footscray was 7-2 at quarter time, so they've kicked 7-1 in this term. This could make it 8 goals for the quarter so far. And the kick, he's disappointed. He misses to the right. Got a nice casual kicking style, Danny Del Rey, hasn't he?
Quite fluid, isn't it?
And just on that occasion, perhaps letting it slip a little bit off the boot and missed to the right. 14-4 plays 7-8. The Swans have kicked 4-4 in this quarter, so they've had their share of the ball, but too easily the Bulldogs have been able to score at the other end. McKenzie's kick-in is good.
And Grant at the front of the pack. Through Atkins it goes. Hunter straight back to full forward. Del Rey charges at it. Kapler getting back there against McKenzie. He spoiled his teammate. Kapler eventually the kick out, but not cleared the area yet. Fripp balks the hand pass. And eventually kicks to centre wing. Wallace takes the mark on his chest. Darren Kapler has a different opponent now. Instead of Grant, he's got Royal. Might find him more to his liking. Inside half forward with that kick. Punched by Tunbridge. Oh, very casual by Fripp. Smith grabbed when he didn't have it by Mitchell. No free kick. Now the umpire will ball it up. Late in the second quarter, a big lead, 38-point lead to Footscray. Tunbridge, Mitchell gets his way through the pack and then is buried by the best tackler in the competition, Liberatore. The umpire will ball it up.
Ross, there's an interesting matchup. Darren Baxter has picked up Dennis Carroll, and Dennis Carroll just can't get away, can he?
At all. He just has no influence on the game at the moment.
And that's exactly what the Swans need. They need a lift from Carroll. Speaking of him, he kicks the ball towards half forward, but Coleman, oh gee whiz, he just comes away with absolute skill. Glenn Coleman in the finish. After one bounce, kicks it towards the full forward position. It rebounds. Bays, good kick by Bays out in front. Perhaps shouldn't have waited, Kelly, but he's able to gather it now. Now he's forced to bomb away up towards full forward. No good though. Just too easy with Sexton coming out and marking in front of the pack. And Footscray doing it comfortably. The kick back towards the wing. Doolan punches it away. Chance now for Brunton. Oh, you're gone, Bays. He gets the handball away quickly, which was good. Doolan in turn to Nettlebeck. And the pass, not bad. Lewis have a shot. Such a magnificent kick of the football is Dale Lewis. He could easily get the distance here, which he does, but not the accuracy. And it's through for one behind. He's kicked 2-1, Dale Lewis, in that scoreline of the Swans 7-9, and they trail Footscray 14-4.
Campbell, the short kick into Hunter. Straight up the ground, bit high for Wallace. Comes through the back to Smith, hawks the hand pass, and then straight up the centre corridor. One hand Hawkins. In the back, Holmes. No whistle. Ross Glendinning wanted a whistle for the hawk there. Brunton, doing all right. Goes back with his hand pass. And the kick by Holmes bumbles out of bounds at centre wing.
If they're going to play that infringement in the boundary thrown around the neck, surely that push in the back, Holmes on Hawkins, has to be played.
Coleman going against Tunbridge. Haven't seen Gareth John on yet, so Tunbridge has done it all in the ruck. Foster.
Well done, Kelly.
Yeah, great tackle.
Yep.
It's difficult. Ross isn't running with the ball without giving the free kick away, and he did it well.
He did. Very strong upper body is Kelly.
There's a player loose at left half forward. It looks like Thripp, but he's ignoring that and going long in towards centre half forward. They must take the mark here. No, it's not. A lovely little hand pass. It comes out to McGovern. McGovern goes for goal and pops it through. Well done there. I think the hand pass may have come from Mitchell, was it?
Ross? Yes, very sharp hand.
It was very, very good vision. And effected the hand pass. We'll see McGovern surely go back now and give Barry Mitchell a pat on the back, but now we have a look at the replay.
Yes, the back up there was a very sharp handball. McGovern, who is rated by people in Perth to be as skilled as Chris Lewis. That's how he's rated at Claremont. Showed there that he certainly has got something going for him.
The last minute of the first half, and the margin's back to 31 points. So it hasn't been a disgraceful turn for the Swans. They've lost it by 9 points so far. McGovern playing in the middle, gets this hand pass away. Man who's kicked the last goal. Will there be time enough for more score? Another kick by McGovern. 25 seconds remaining to the long break. Dunkley can't take the mark, but he dispossesses Coleman. Mitchell. Coleman takes it away. Well done, Glenn Coleman. Liberatore to Smith. Maybe Footscray can get another one. Kick by Smith to Hawkins. Holmes punches from behind. McPherson clever. Collinute couldn't gain clean possession. Lawson goes back. Whistle's gone. It's going to be a Swans free. And it's to McGovern. And that will complete the action. So there were plenty of goals kicked in that quarter. And Footscray, who at quarter time were 7 goals 2, added another 7 goals 2. And Sydney were 3-4, so they've added 5 goals 5. So a bit of inaccuracy by Sydney has meant that they lost the quarter. But 12 goals between them in that term, and maybe Sydney are just a little bit close enough if Gary Buckenara can encourage more commitment after half-time. 14-4 Footscray, 8 goals 9 Sydney. Bulldogs leading by 31 points going into the second half. Liberatore gets it to Atkins. Finding it heartbreaking from Brunton. Kelly, Brunton. Wide to Bays, Foster. Mark Bays on the forward line. Scoops it off the ground. On his wrong kicking foot. Kicks it about 30 metres, that's all. Strooper can't mark. Lewis is there. Whips out the hand pass. A chance here for the Swans. Good hand pass into Strooper. And Strooper has kicked the goal. Good start for the Swans. Just what the doctor ordered, but he's not here. He's in America.
And Bay's going to send up forward as a move that quite often happens with Sydney. The handball coming from West very quickly to Strooper, finished off well. That's a few more of their players. As soon as the ball was bounced, they showed far more commitment. The Swans, they ran in quickly into the square, were desperate at the fall of the footy, and a goal results.
I was just wondering, Ross, if you're going to pick Gareth John in the 20,
why don't you play him?
Yeah, why is he on the ground? And he's quite a talented player, but seems to be wasted on the interchange bench. The Swans are a chance again here. Callett being kept out of it just a little bit by Bays. Now he's into the action. The 2-4s, Callett and Doolan. Foster gets the ball away to Nigel Callett, who played very well in the first half. And the hand pass just draws the player and allows Atkins some space. Atkins up towards full forward mark. Simple Doug Hawkins. The ball carrying over the top of the heads of the players in front, and Holmes being caught behind Hawkins.
Yes, the players in front, Thripp and Grant, just jostling for position. The ball just carrying up the top there. In fact, a bit of shepherding almost by Thripp and a bit of infringing by Grant, but Hawkins the player of the football.
Now Hawkins has kicked 3. Hawkins has kicked 4. 4 goals to Doug Hawkins, and again he is proving a worthy contributor on that Footscray forward line. The Bulldogs 15-4 lead the Swans 9-9.
And perhaps indicative, we see the situation, the build up again, indicative of the way the Bulldogs are playing. They now have Kolyniuk and McPherson on the bench, who are 2 of their prime movers. Far too easy that mark for Hawkins.
Wind gets the ball down towards Kelly, and a free kick has been picked out of it. It's going back to Liberatore.
Tony Liberatore won the best and fairest last year. Brownlow the year before. Not a great kick. Out towards the pocket. Mackenzie. Mitchell had to punch the ball out. And we'll have a throw in.
Grant doesn't look too... is that Grant going off the ground? Or is it Hunter? I think it's Hunter going off the ground, McPherson back on.
Right for the boundary throw in. Tunbridge has done all the roughing for the Swans, this time against Coleman. Jostle. And the ball held in there for a ball up. Liberatore, one of the smallest men in league football. And we've got Lawson on the opposition, who might vie with him for the title of the smallest. Palm out by Nettlebeck. Close to the boundary line. Brunton. Well, he stole it. Liberatore took it right off him red hot. And the ball out of bounds on the full. And Mackenzie will take the free into play for the Swans.
Interesting to see, Ross, that Baxter now has Lewis.
Yes.
So Terry Wheeler respecting the talents of the number 3 for the Swans, Dale Lewis. One of the best taggers in the game, Darren Baxter. Wind has the football and gets through, kicks it in towards the forward pocket. Del Rey in front.
It's a good mark.
It was.
But with Warren McKenzie's height, he should have done a better job there. He should have been able to come over and spoil more effectively. He couldn't reach the football, try and break the arms, not as in physically, try and upset the marking ability there of Del Rey.
Del Rey just looks a little slow when he gets down the field a bit, but he could be a useful contributor up there at full forward. It's kick 4, and he's now kicked 5. 5 goals from full forward is worthwhile. 16-4 plays 9-9, and the Bulldogs continue with their accuracy.
Yeah, certainly a good contribution, Ian, if you consider that most full forwards, if they can kick 4 a game, are reasonably happy. Again, Wine just working very hard midfield, and here Mackenzie just given Del Rey just far too much latitude there. Should have done a better job.
Danny Del Rey, 5 goals and a century up for Footscray. Another ton at the SCG. Dunkley, high ball to centre half forward. Bays punches on well. Nettlebeck back to Bays. Kapler in a new role. Real scrap. And I suppose if the Swans can block things up, tackle and hassle and spoil Footscray, they could claw their way back from this 5-goal deficit. Now a bit more than a 5-goal deficit. Tunbridge, McPherson, caught in the tackle by Kelly. Kelly follows up, gets the ball going the Swans' way, and this will be a ball up about 25 metres from goal.
Move's been made to Nettlebeck has now gone to full-back. Mackenzie coming down to the forward line.
Just in that left forward pocket for the Swans, Mitchell just looks a little disinterested, Barry Mitchell. And you wonder whether he's
Quite
as
right.
fit as he should be. Oh, there's a great mark taken by Foster. Out at half-back, and he plays on quickly. Kicks it in towards the centre. Coleman marks on his chest, plays on. It's pedestrian stuff for the Bulldogs. Tui from half-back, kicks in towards full forward. No mark taken there. Coming through strongly for the Swans was McGovern. The ball goes wide. Strooper, Holmes, back to Strooper. Strooper's short kick. And well gathered by Mitchell in front of Liberatore. Hand pass is all right. Kapler, outside 50, goes long. It's a magnificent kick by Kapler. It's a goal. And maybe that might get something moving for the Sydney side. 16-4, 100, 10-9, 69. The advantage for Footscray is 31 points.
That's been a far more effective contribution from Kapler. Mitchell there just doing well, just getting away from Liberatore momentarily, but a very fine kick, as Robbo mentioned, from Kapler.
Margin back to 31 points, the same as at half-time. Real juggle for possession in the middle there. Plenty of hands to the ball. The first kick is Brunton's, up to the 50. Tui, who had a bit of a go with Fripp, a former teammate, a while ago. And that ball goes out of play. Sort themselves out. Dunkley over the top, number 40, straight back out of bounds. Took a couple of nice marks right at the start of the game. Fripp from North Launceston. Number 56 in the November draft. Wine works to the front, beats Bays. Bays collars him. Crowd balls holding the ball. Given. Mansfield will take a free kick here. Bradford not in possession.
Did that very well.
With his left arm heavily bandaged after breaking his arm in the Foster's Cup. Coleman marks at centre wing. He was trying to get off.
Very close to playing on. Very close.
Very close to 50-metre penalty too. Coleman on centre wing, sweeps around and kicks it in towards centre half forward. Del Rey can't mark. It's punched away. The Swans have got 3 or 4 there. Nearly mess it up. Brunton, McGovern. Now Kelly, his kick towards half forward too. That's pushed out, and much to the delight of the Swan supporters, the free kick is given to Strooper. Strooper's kick. Wind has got back and takes the mark in the back pocket. Geez, good at that, Scott Wine. Away to Campbell. Campbell with plenty of space. Kicks it long in towards the centre. Marking contest. Wheeler punches away from Smith. Mitchell. Handballs to Thripp. Thripp's kick wide towards half forward. From the back, West. Good mark. And he plays on. Hooks a kick, and he does it nicely. Well done, Lewis. Did he get blinded there by the sun? McPherson. Sweeping hand pass. Goes wider still to Wallace. And Footscray out of trouble. Steve Wallace's short kick is all right. It's marked by Chris Grant, defensive side of the wing.
Bulldogs leading by 31 points. Drifting up the ground, Sexton. His kick to half forward. Tumbling mark is dropped. And a hurried kick out of defence is out on the full. Nettlebeck should have and could have taken the mark in the first place. Doug Hawkins. 2 kicks to goal from there. Down towards the pocket. Coleman a good bump, but then couldn't take the mark. McGovern bursts out of the back pocket for the Swans. Across the ground he goes. Kelly. Shepherding behind play, gives a bit of space to the Swans. Wheeler, who was benched for a while with an injured leg. Oh, he does this so often, Matthew Wheeler, but this time it comes up the ground to Kapler. He tries to burst the tackle. Not a great kick for the forwards. Lewis, Foster. Lewis got it going forward. Well done. Bays, not a great hand pass, but something happening here. Brunton, he missed it.
Bad miss in the finish by Neil Brunton. They did it pretty well.
They did, yes.
Matthew Wheeler looked as though he may have messed it up. He just takes his eye off the ball, Ross, do you think, when he's bouncing it?
He looks very unsure of himself when he's bouncing the ball. He's just not controlling it well enough.
Wallace accepts the kick in. Kicks it up towards the wing. G. Coleman playing like a 17-year-old. Nettlebeck marks in the back pocket.
He's playing Dennis Carroll on a break at the moment.
McGovern running through centre half back. There's a dust up on centre wing on this near side. Scott Wine, is that a mark? Now he's played on. Handball to Baxter. Ineffective. Strooper. The kick is by Bays, and it's a goal. Well done, Mark Bays. Well, they needed that one. And again, they just claw their way back into it. And believe it or not, they only trail by 24 points.
Yes, and every time they look as though they're going to get themselves back into the game, kicking goals like this, the last two quarters, they just dropped the momentum again, and then Footscray come back. They just can't get themselves close enough.
Tunbridge over his head, but he can't clear the area. Atkins, little kick through. Royals found it hard so far. Hasn't had a disposal, but he'll get one this time.
Either over the shoulder or in the back. Take your pick. And 50 to boot.
50-metre penalty.
What's that for?
Well, I thought the free kick was just, as Ross called it, back or high. There was no follow-up, was it?
Certainly was a free kick, but
For 50.
Gee, yes.
Brian Royal, in his 10th year at Footscray, he won the best and fairest in his first season, 83. A gimme goal. Listen to the fans hooting.
Oh, I don't know. That's a very, very severe penalty, isn't it? That 50 metres.
Yeah, well, you've got nothing between, have you, Robbo? You can't, if you don't penalise us, we'll probably have another look at that again. Here's the definite free kick. High with the right hand, and then in the back, definitely. No question. And then that's what the 50 was for, which is fairly trivial.
What, for pushing the player after, as he's
pulled his jumper and pulled him forward, so it was unnecessary, so there's a penalty there, but a 50-metre penalty for such a trivial thing is harsh.
So as soon as the Swans do the hard work and bridge the gap, Bulldogs just sneak away, and that goal, fairly vital, I think. Atkins, kick towards half forward, no mark taken. Dennis Carroll trying to sweep across that half back line. Grant pulled down. Atkins pulled from behind by Thrip, and now a free kick has been given to the Swans. They're pretty happy. It was deemed as a throw, the handball over the top. Carroll's kick in towards the centre, but the umpire just suggesting maybe that Dennis Carroll didn't go back and kick over the man on the mark.
Terry Thrip has to take the kick. I think that's the reason why, Robbo.
Yep. And Thrip just casually away to McGovern. McGovern looking to move, but can't really go one way, so he's forced to go back with the left side. Now a chance for Wallace. Wallace's hand pass, Royal getting into it. Kicks it in towards the pocket. Del Rey, oh, too strong. Shares it with Liberatore, and Liberatore kicks the goal. Who wants them now? Any which way, but it's a Bulldog goal, 18-4 to 11-10.
The Sydney players appealing here for a push-out. Just watch this once more. Del Rey, just a bit of body work. What football's all about. It's a skill in itself, bodying a player, and Liberatore completes the task.
McPherson off for Footscray and Collingwood back on. You'd think the Swans would be making the changes. Lewis out of the middle. Standing start kick, not a bad one. Foster couldn't take the mark. McKenzie flips the ball out the back. Chance for West. Campbell back there first. And the ball out of play. Well done, Tony Campbell. Gloved it well. Another change for Footscray with Smith coming off and McPherson back on. So he was on the bench for about 20 seconds.
And we've had a chat on the phone, I think, Drew.
Palmed down by McKenzie. West hand pass back. And good desperation. Bernard Toohey sees the ball out. Midway through the third quarter. And Footscray, 18-4, amazing kicking, to 11-10. McKenzie in the play a bit now. On the forward line for the Swans. Royal coming into it. Wallace. Campbell. Need to be quick here, Tony Campbell. just breaks the tackle. The hand pass, not great for Wallace. They're not out of it yet. Sexton, dispossessed by Kapler. Kapler hurriedly on the left boot. In a scoring zone for the Swans, but a diving mark by Baxter. Excellent.
Well, I'm not much of a coach of a football side, but if Gareth John can't do a better job in the ruck than Warren McKenzie, and he's still to take his place on the ground, I think he's warming up now on the bench. Thripp has the football. Handball over the top. Lewis. Oh, lovely pass.
And it is McKenzie that's coming off, Ian.
Well coached.
And it's, gee whiz, it's not before time. Over half a game of football, and I don't think he'd have too many posies beside his name. West, and they're all cheering too because John is coming onto the ground. West, his kick goes across the face, bounces just inside the boundary line. So John about to get into the action straight away. No, he can't quite get to that throw in. It's punched away. Wallace, plenty of time to steady. Kicks it to a vacant area near the wing. It bounces kindly. Wheeler just gets his handball away. Kapler goes back. It was from Brunton back to Kapler, and the pass is all right. And Tunbridge has taken the mark between the wing position and centre half forward.
High ball to the forward pocket. West and Tui. That's not a great kick for the forwards.
Well, it's a bomb, and it's into the pocket. Makes it easy for the defenders just to thump it away over the boundary line. He'd been better off taking a punt and trying to kick it to the front of the square.
Gareth John contesting this one with Scott Wine, and wins it. Mitchell, leading possession winner in football last year. Well, was that thrown out by Dunkley? Kicked by Kapler was smothered, and here's Hawkins after the rebound. Whoa, up and down goes Doolan. Hawkins, great football to Baxter. That's good set up a goal for Footscray. Terrific stuff by the skipper. To full forward. Delray stays at the back. But they're back to take him on in numbers. Delray knocks the ball back to Collingwood. Atkins, they've lost ground. Atkins steers the ball to Coleman, who I think is too far out to score. He hooks it round the corner to Baxter, who's drifted up from defence.
And the beauty there is Simon Atkins' disposal. He just took his time, just a little bit of extra look. Saw Coleman was free rather than just blazing away toward the square.
Half volley for Liberatore. Can't break the tackle. Royal. Brunton got him, and Royal kicked out of bounds on the full.
Well, they look as though they've lifted their urgency rate a little bit, Ross, don't they? The Swans with their tackling and fierce go at the football. Thripp, half back, marking contest, punched away from Bays. Now Smith, he's well caught. Ball goes back towards Hawkins. In turn to Foster. Foster's kick in towards the centre. Atkins well done in the finish. It was pretty fierce. Smith left it behind. Kick off the ground, went back to Foster. Foster measures it beautifully. Liberatore wide of the centre. High kick towards full forward. Oh, nearly a Swans mark back there.
Play that to Carroll.
And it's been played to Carroll, and Nettlebeck in a little bit of trouble. Carroll, hand pass wide to Thripp. Thripp a good kick. Kapler must run with the football. He's kicked it high. Strooper, and well done. He'll run on. Have a bounce. Inside 50, another one. He may kick a goal from here. Depends on the accuracy. No, it's not there, and it was too low anyway. So Strooper misses. He's kicked 1-1. Swans badly needed a goal. 11-11 plays 18-4.
Yes, and Ben Doolan's in a bit of trouble too, with a bit of an ankle after that collision in the centre of the field with Doug Hawkins.
Campbell kicks in. 112 plays 77. Footscray comfortably in front. Wine doing the roving. Out to Coleman. Oh, he's dispossessed by Lawson, who just came off the bench to replace Doolan. Away to Mitchell. This could be an important goal for the Swans. He's missed it. 1 goal, 1 for Barry Mitchell. Doolan off the ground. Cameron Williams.
Yeah, Ben went over about 5 minutes ago and then hurt his left ankle again when he went up for that spectacular mark, but he doesn't seem to be in too much distress. They're going to re-strap the ankle and see if they can get him back out there.
Here's Lawson again. Kelly gets the hand pass up to Bays. His left footer clears the pack, clears his teammate but not Campbell. John underneath the pack. Mitchell a chance. Campbell goes for the boundary line and finds it.
Did well, Tony Campbell.
Good actually, yes. The right option to get the ball defensively, the outer side, did it well.
Boundary throw in, left forward pocket for the Swans. Wine up high and just bashes it back over for another throw in. 18-4. Gee, that's good kicking, isn't it, by Footscray?
Good football.
22 scoring shots to 23, and they lead by 34 points. Chance for the Swans. Kelly. Wallace tackled. Liberatore gets it through. Sexton can't quite control it, but he's got time, and now he bangs it to the opposite side of the ground. Lawson and Smith. Smith, well done. Can't take it with him. Atkins, a lovely little tap to the advantage of Baxter, and Footscray out of trouble. Baxter's kicked towards half forward. Underneath it, Royal. And he led the other player, McGovern, underneath it as well. Now Royal darts back. Inside 50, Royal's kick. A floater. No mark taken. The ball in front of the Footscray goal. Chance for Carroll. Hand pass really to no one, but Nettlebeck was on the end of it. Wheeler kicks it quickly. Kapler's a chance. Must gather this. McPherson the tackler. Kapler away to Wheeler, who's run nicely. Wheeler's kick towards half forward in short. Wallace. And Wheeler just needed to run maybe one or two more paces.
Correct. And the kick didn't quite have that penetration.
And Wallace being where all good defenders should be in front. Oh, the ball punched to the back. That was bad play by Holmes. He flew when he should have stayed on the ground. Hawkins, Kolonyuk, Mitchell the tackler. Wasn't really a tackle. Kolonyuk goes back to Hawkins. Hawkins, lovely little short one. Liberatore away. Atkins may kick the goal.
Oh,
Atkins does kick the goal. Well, if I sounded maybe a little bit blasé about that, he's such a skillful player, Atkins, and combining with two of the other trumps, Footscray and Liberatore and Hawkins.
Not many players can do it, but just the beauty there. Hawkins not panicking, Liberatore just selling the dummy there, and Atkins just casually, but very purposefully, finishing off.
Well, this is a rare party for Footscray. They were a very defensive team under Mick Malthouse, and a bit the same under Terry Wheeler, the lowest scoring side in the competition last year, and here they are, 19 goals for. Lawson, and hand pass to Carroll. He goes back out of the corridor. Lawson after it again. Little left footer to centre wing. Strooper can't take the mark, and Tui takes it out.
Probably should have taken that, David Strooper.
He looked pretty good on the lead at full forward at Collingwood last week, and did take some firm grabs overhead. About 4 or 5 goals. Swans going forward here. Brunton off the left boot. Chance for John to get back on this with Campbell. Campbell looking for the line again. Well done.
It's against him.
Deliberate.
Yeah, well,
Any more deliberate than the last one?
no, it wasn't deliberate. When this kick has been done, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
It's a goal to West.
Well, the ball went out of bounds and Tony Campbell wasn't going to be penalised, but then he kicked the ball away while it was not about to be picked up, but what would you call it, Ross? Penalised for wasting time, maybe?
Yes, once the ball goes out of bounds, players are not allowed to touch it. That's the new rule, which was in vogue last year. You just leave the football line, no matter where it is. Otherwise, you are able to be penalised.
Jim West has kicked 4 goals.
And he's been a good replacement for Leon Higgins, who couldn't take his place in the side. Back in the centre, Mitchell tackling. Coleman on the bottom there. Umpire calls for a bounce. So still they hang in there, the Swans. 12-12 to 19-4. The difference is 34 points. They'll need to get a bit of a run on. Atkins kicks it up towards full forward. Is that a mark? No. Holmes has the ball underneath him. Royal, handball away. Liberatore's nearly in the goal square. Make it so easy. Well, Liberatore, Brownlow medalist and very much a tigerish little player. He's kicked 3.
Here we see Atkins actually taking that bounce very quickly. Good effort to mark there from Holmes. Unfortunately not paid. And then a very, very easy goal to Liberatore. Matthew Wheeler not chasing hard enough whatsoever. Could have upset Liberatore, made things more difficult.
Hasn't really been a goal-kicking rover, Tony Liberatore. 38 goals in 62 games prior to today.
Does play mainly defensively.
3 goals today to Liver. Dunkley. Bouncing ball for Bays with Foster. Bays takes him wide. He's on his favoured left side. From the boundary line, a centering kick. John Strooper there as well. Strooper comes back to all the numbers. The Swans. Mitchell, the Kapler, a goal. 2 goals to Darren Kapler. Started in defence. Both those goals coming this quarter.
They're giving themselves a chance. They're hanging in there. They certainly don't look as though they're going to break Footscray at all. However, they keep persisting. They're looking with a chance. John and Stroop there spoil each other, but Barry Mitchell again with quick hands gives Kapler the opportunity to finish off.
And Mark Bays maybe showing a slight deficiency in Peter Foster's game, running away from him over wide on that left half forward.
Yes, if you move around, Peter Foster doesn't particularly like he's more of a stand and prop type of centre half back.
Well, this time the ball taking a long time to get back to the centre. Usually at the SCG they get it back in about 15 seconds. Just under 4 minutes remaining to three-quarter time at the SCG. 34 points the difference, Footscray in front. Bit of basketball in the middle. Lawson takes clean possession and runs away from them. Kick by Lawson wide is good. John! Welcome back.
Turn around, turn around. Nothing worse to see players anywhere near goal, anywhere in the ground, turning your back on play. After a good effort like that.
Almost put out of the game last year. And that ruck clash with Simon Madden. Back, returning to league football almost a year to the day. It'll set up for the Swans in the goal square. Mitchell almost. The umpire's going to have to ball this up about 2 metres from goal. Another one here for the Swans. Might just be a little bit handy going into the last quarter. Well, they've got time to get a couple more. Congested pack. Gareth John goes at it, knocks it away from goal. Kelly. Can't just get around. He does eventually. Kicked by Mitchell. Close. Strooper. Almost. Campbell. Out of defence, but he's kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Well, the free kick now to be taken in this position maybe by Lewis, is it? Just wondered whether it was Matthew Wheeler that was closer to the action, but Lewis has got the football. He's too far out to score. He's looking for a short pass. Now he kicks it across. It's good. It's very good. Oh, he dropped an easy one, Brunton. Still on the bottom of the pack. Chance for Dennis Carroll. He kicks with the left. It's a very good kick. And just missed.
Just carried 50 metres with a quick flick on the left foot.
Well, he's a very skillful player too, Dennis Carroll. He just hasn't been able to get into the game. The tag, Darren Baxter, now on Dale Lewis. The kick in, marked by Sexton. Sexton at half back. Loose player. Foster's been allowed to run all the way up. He's going to handball over the top, surely. This is predictable stuff. Coleman up to the 50-metre line. Drop punt kick, not bad, into the square, and it's helped over for a rush behind of the Bulldogs. A big punch coming back there from maybe Nettlebeck, was it? He's about to kick the ball back into play. Decides to go to that far side.
Minute 20 remaining in the quarter. Tunbridge gives away the free kick to Coleman.
Wasn't necessary either, was it?
Not really.
20 goals, 5, Footscray. Scoring shots at 25 to 26, so the Swans have had more shots, but trail by 34 points.
Couldn't kick this, could he? Galaxy.
Well, if Bernie Quinlan's been coaching him, he might be a chance. Not far off. Grant! Oh, he gave away the free, surely.
Well, that shouldn't be a score. That should be a free kick.
The field umpire said all clear to the goal umpire, and he allowed that.
Dennis Carroll remonstrating there with the umpire.
Well,
just watch this again.
Absolutely.
Free kick there to Tripp. It's got to be.
Kick in, no mark. Tunbridge. Oh, Atkins left it behind. Brunton well tackled by Liberatore. Lawson gets the handball. Mitchell leaving it behind Kelly. Kick off the ground wide. Back to Wallace. Wallace has kicked to centre half forward. Okay, Royal. Short pass, no. Grant looking for it, but Royal's going to go for goal, like all good little Rovers do. Kicks it long. Oh, it's a goal, isn't it? No, it's not. It's just missed to the left. Brian Royal, 1 goal 1. 20 goals 7. 13-13, so it's exactly 6 goals the difference with just half a minute left in the third quarter.
Mitchell almost got underneath that one. He's got plenty of players. Carroll. Right boot this time to centre half forward. West. Gee, they've dropped some easy ones, the Swans. Brunton. Atkins beats him. The hand pass went behind his teammate. Picked off the ground by Kelly, who shoots a goal and misses.
She would have been a handy one too.
2 behinds to Paul Kelly, and that is three-quarter time here at the SCG. Footscray, 20 goals 7, 127, leading Sydney, 13-14, 92.
Now, the start of the last term, can Sydney make inroads into that 35-point advantage that Footscray hold at the start of this quarter? Still in the centre. Now, a chance for Mitchell. Kicks towards half forward, no mark. At the bottom of the pack, Lewis. Mitchell, oh, Lawson, pace. Kicks for goal, and he has docked it. What a start. Lawson. Dang, flash.
Well, that was just about the goal of the match, I reckon.
That's about been the size of his form today. He's flashed in and flashed out. He's not been very consistent at all, but gee, he's given himself and his team a bit of a lift with that set up here. Lewis read this off that very well, from nicely, and Mitchell contested well. He got the ball clear, and Lawson finished off.
And from outside 50. Still a chance now. Kelly runs away from Wine, kicks it long towards goal. Footscray getting back. Where are the crumb gatherers? Sexton kicks it long out towards the wing. McPherson on his own.
Steve McPherson going for a run. Great start by the Swans, getting that goal in the opening minute. And defensively, here's Nettlebeck taking a mark. And on a short ground, they could wipe out this deficit of 6 goals in a flash. Comes out to Holmes off, ball kick, blocked by Coleman. Back to McPherson, and he finds Hawkins unmarked. Over the top he goes to Polynuk, and this should be an answering goal. Missed it, hit the post. Well, if Footscray start Lairising, they could give this game away yet.
Yes, 2 options there. The first one he took was to run wide and improve the angle. The second one was the handball, suck the player and handball on top to Brian Royal.
Kick in is okay. Holmes marks at half back. The Swans can't afford any mistakes like the one that allowed Polynuk in with a chance. Mitchell caught by Grant. Kelly does well. Hawkins the chaser, but Kelly's kick goes in towards the centre of the ground. No mark. Lawson's a chance. No. Mansfield dispossessed. Well done. The Swans go forward. Kelly opportunity. Carroll. The kick there from Dunkley goes wide. John caught with the football, but taps it on. Can Kapler get there? Kick off the ground by that player. Goes up to the goal square. Opportunity for Lewis. Still with the football. Now Bays. Still a chance, Mark Bays. He's still there. Gets the hand pass away. West. What's Jimmy West done? Hooked the kick. Too far. And through for a behind. 4 goals, 2 to West. And the Swans just edging closer. 14-15-99. They trail by 29 points. The Bulldogs 20 goals 8. Leading goal kicker on the ground is Danny Delray, who's kicked 5.
Wine beats Tunbridge, but can't take the mark. At the back, Wallace. Thrift first back there. Grant closing the gap. Well played by Thrift to tap the ball into his skipper Carroll. Brunton. Swans lifting. Lewis, his teammate Dunkley took it away. Dunkley towards John. Gareth John still after this with Campbell. The umpire will ball it up in the forward pocket. Well, we've seen some comebacks in this round. Both unsuccessful. Essendon came back yesterday against Collingwood and Hawthorn came back against St Kilda. But could we see a team here today come from 35 points down at three-quarter time and win? Footscray don't deserve to lose, but they've still got to play the game out to win. John in ruck this time. Wine wins. Dunkley, strong play. Trooper couldn't take his hand pass though, and they've lost it. Baxter.
Kick towards the wing. No mark taken. Ball at the back, Carroll. Not a bad kick by Dennis Carroll. And very good mark taken by Baxter.
It was too. Good shepherding off the 32 converted to help his teammate.
Well, he nearly took a risk there going across the ground to centre half back, but now goes out towards the wing. And the mark is taken by Grant. 21 minutes left in the term. Chris Grant. Kicked 2 goals. Kick towards half forward. Tunbridge, well done. Got back. Kelly. They mess it up again. No. Dennis Carroll left it behind. Grant in there for Footscray. Well done. Handball further. Wallace, Hawkins. Now a chance for Mansfield. Drives it long. Into the goal square. Royal may bounce through. Ooh, just missed to the right. So Mansfield's first score for the day is a behind.
He's a good penetrating kick, Mansfield, isn't he?
That certainly was one, Ross. Covered about 55 metres.
Well, he's played State of Origin football for Tasmania. Matthew Mansfield.
Kick in by McGovern. 5 goals the margin. Trip up high. Comes to Wallace of Footscray. Chance here for the Bulldogs. Delray. McGovern tripped up. No whistle. Well, don't tell me Footscray will get a goal out of this. Brian Royal, 30 metres out. Great kick. Collingwood. And they will get a goal out of it after the umpire put the whistle away.
He was 15 metres away from that, Ross.
That's crazy.
Let's have a look at this trip before Collingwood kicks the goal. Oh, he might have tripped himself, you know.
Yes. Yep. Sorry,
Steve Collingwood improves his angle with a step and goals. (21-9) Footscray to 14-15.
Well, he was very good early in the piece, Collingwood, particularly in that first quarter. He helped set up the good start that Footscray had. He spent a little bit of time on the bench. See that again, yes, it was McGovern tripping himself and Footscray taking full toll. I don't think Royal's kick would have carried through, so Collingwood did the right thing. If you're in doubt, always mark.
So it's back to a 36-point advantage to Footscray. Wine gets the run at it. Kelly again. Another possession. He played pretty well, Paul Kelly. Kick coming from Thrift. Now it's Baxter. May get caught, but he gets his kick away. Up towards the wing. Kepler can't control it. Wallace. Thrift again. Desperate. Kelly tackle on Liberatore. The ball underneath. Still to be cleared of that pack. And umpire Carey seeing that was impossible. So he's decided on a bounce. The Swans supporters still smiling, even though their side trail by 36 points. Chance now for McPherson. Just a little bit behind behind Grant. Handball, wider still. Lawson, but Atkins' little tap gave Smith the chance. Smith's kick is a long kick, but it misses to the right.
Well, there were 2 very effective taps there. The first one coming from Wine out of the bounce down, and the second one, as Robbo called it, from Atkins, setting that up.
Kick in, here's trouble. Smith again. Might have a second pot shot for goal in the space of 15 seconds. He finds Atkins. Simon Atkins. Delray with the sit. They'll still kick the goal. Great stuff. Six goals to Danny Delray. Long way back for Sydney now.
Well, he certainly did have the sit, but he showed a good bit of recovery there. He landed fairly cleanly on his feet. Good penetrating kick coming in from Atkins. Had the sit, didn't infringe too much, did the right thing. Grabbed the ball very quickly, held his ground, and a nice snap.
43 points. Footscray's lead. And Del Rey with 6 goals. Hawkins with 4. Liberatore with 3. The leading goal scorers for the Bulldogs. West has kicked 4 for the Swans. They get clear of the centre. Through Mitchell. Up towards half forward. No mark taken. Sexton looking for it. It could have been round the neck against Dunkley, was it?
That's what it's been played for.
And Sexton will take the free kick at half back. Decides to go long. Nearly up towards half forward. Wheeler, a good gather. McPherson, probably not as good a tackle as he would have liked. Kick lands with West, right half forward for the Swans. Short kick into the pocket. Strooper. He nearly could have run on then, but has elected to go back and have a set shot at goal. Little pass in, Kapler. So he's improved the angle. Not a lot closer. Again, a short pass. Well, Bays will get the distance.
Yeah, it's very untidy from Footscray.
Well, if you were Coach Ross, would you be critical? I mean, are they looking for a percentage win at this stage of the season?
Oh, it all counts, Robbo. You can't afford to concede anything.
Bays. Lovely kick by Bays as a goal. Mark Bays gets his second. After playing the first half in defence, he's kicked Sydney's 15th goal.
Yeah, particularly when conceding or not conceding any advantage there, Robbo. If the season's turning out the way it is going to pan out for the rest of the season with some upset wins and losses, accordingly, percentage could be very important.
.42 to 105. And under 17 minutes remaining in the game. Kelly, pretty good distance with that. Bays in front. That was his first mark, that little one that resulted in the goal. Lawson bounces around Smith. Showed him a clean pair of heels. Centering kick. They're all up. Lewis, well played. And he went without it. Grabbed by Tui. Back to Smith. Got a little left footer. Royal. Tui kept going. And in front, Nettlebeck to take the mark for the Swans. Wheeler going backwards. Look out. He's lost it. Yeah, ran too far.
Just that uncertainty again.
Well, Danny Del Rey can kick a football. He's kicked 6 goals.
Hawkins is free as a breeze.
He'll be kicking from 55 metres. The Hawk was free about 40 metres from goal. He's got a big chance of kicking this. Only about 52 metres eventually when he kicked. Grant!
What a beautiful pair of hands. When you look at Dale Lewis and Chris Grant and players of that calibre, the game's looking pretty good. They're the sort of players that people want to come to see. Fair ball handlers, good skilled players.
Grant going for his 3rd goal. No problems. Is there room on that forward line for Ballantyne, Adrian Campbell, Charles and a few others?
Well, Adrian Campbell's the player that certainly showed a lot, and he could handle full forward, no question. And with their height crew, they could certainly rotate through a half forward, centre half forward, full forward area, particularly Grant with his height of 6'4". So I said definitely some room there.
Yes, very good young player, Chris Grant. Gee, they've shared it around Footscray, haven't they, up on that forward line. Hawkins with 4, Grant with 3, Liberatore 3, Del Rey, the chief goal kicker, with 6. 148, plays 105. Lawson leaves it behind. Smith, back to Liberatore. Good option. McPherson, straight towards goal. Del Rey, no. Well done, Middlebeck. And he'll clear the ball for the Swans. Back towards the wing, McPherson. No, good mark taken by Mitchell in the finish, judging it a little bit better than Steve McPherson. Short pass is okay. He finds Kelly. Player running wide on this side is McGovern, but he decided to go to the other side. where Footscray have got 2-on-1, and the way they go with Tui, Collinute, no mark, numbers there for the Swans, they can't get clear of that pack, and the umpire will call for a bounce. 148 plays 105. We've got 14 minutes left in the last quarter. Coleman, Atkins, free kick. Now the advantage rule is paid. McPherson, long kick by McPherson. It may bounce through. It's close. Oh no, there's a free kick being picked out of it. It's going to the Swans.
Yes, Doug Hawkins
holding on.
Holding on, yes.
Holmes will take it right in the goal square. Short kick. Carroll.
Behind centre half back. McGovern's got himself in a big space. Claremont Premiership player last year. Up to the cricket pitch area. Straight up the middle for Strooper. He stayed at the back. He's got a big chance, David Strooper. Hurriedly onto the left. He had more time than he knew he had.
Yes, he gave his opponent Tui a nice little Malcolm Blight nudge in the back. Gave himself some room. Sat over the back of the pack, but just had a bit more time than perhaps he thought he did. Could have steadied and done a better job of that.
Tony Campbell kicks in. Wind. Sexton, the hand pass through to Atkins. Back to Baxter. Good setup by Footscray. Centre wing is Wallace. Steve Wallace kick up towards the 50. Del Rey. Mark paid. Last year, Footscray averaged 83 points a game, the lowest in the league. McPherson marks this about 35 metres out. So today they've already kicked 148. So they've found a potent attacking force.
Yes, I think even after that first match in Adelaide that we thought that, you know, with all the group of young players that they've got, they're all promising types and all they need is the right formula. This guy's picked up a lot of possessions today too, Steve McPherson.
Well, at the moment he is the leading stats winner in the competition.
Kick by McPherson is offline. So a disappointment for Footscray. They have 11 goal scorers and McPherson was lining up to be number 12 there. Skipper Dennis Carroll to bring the ball into play. Just over 12 minutes remaining at the SCG. Grant marks and breaks away from the pack. Short passes to Del Rey, a good pickup. Hawks, he's gone. He threw it, said the umpire, and the free kick to Nettlebeck. Nettlebeck centres to Carroll. John giving him something in the centre of the ground. Gareth John after this one. The mark on the run. Very high kick. That'll bring snow. West, good mark. West might be in the starting lineup next week. He's kicked 4 goals, but that's shocking. You give a bloke a rap.
It's unbelievable, isn't it, Drew? Yeah, he's kicked it to Tui, who
Might have recognised Tui's voice.
Tui may have yelled out for it, but anyway, play goes on. Wheeler drops a sitter. Play on, says the umpire. He thinks it's a mark. So does Steve McPherson, standing the mark, but away it goes to Carroll. Kick towards the full forward area, but Footscray get it away too easily. It's kicked back towards the wing. Striving hard as Dunkley. Can't keep the ball in. And Lewis goes over. New cameraman, or a cameraman down there close to the boundary line. Because he may have lost his wares there. The boundary throw in about 55 metres around from the Swans goal. Mitchell, Kelly, well done. Oh, good mark. Excellent effort by Strooper. He does some things, Ross, that make you think he's probably not up to the standard, but then he does some things like that
Yeah, it's just that lack of consistency. This is a good catch. Very good catch. Tui assuming that he wasn't going to get there.
Yeah, it was a top effort. Now, let's hope he can cap it off. He's kicked one, certainly within scoring distance, and I can repay that. So he's got his second goal, David Strooper, from a very, very good mark. And the Swans get their 16th, but they trail by 37 points.
It's this mark again, a very good catch, and he just got that through. Gary Buckenara must be experiencing now, having had the high at the very first win against West Coast, one of the not so enjoyable parts of coaching right at the moment.
Ten minutes left at the SCG. 37 points the difference. So not much movement since half-time. It was 31 then. Grant comes out to Wallace. Steve Wallace steers the pass well for Collingham. Can't take the mark. He's in after it again. Comes out the back to Grant. Off the left boot, Chris Grant. Missed to the right.
A bit of desperation there by Steve Collingham to get the ball on the forward line against three opposition players, and then the skill of Grant to pick that up one-handed.
150 on the board for Footscray. Carroll up to centre wing. Brunton done pretty well. Boy, he played so many reserves games before being given a chance in the seniors. Comes off Sexton to Mansfield. Taken by Kelly. Nearly has the shorts pulled off. And Mansfield pumps for the members stand.
Played a fair game, Kelly.
Oh, he just persists all the time, but I quite admire him. As I mentioned earlier in the day, very strong upper body, very good tackler.
38 points the advantage for Footscray. 9 minutes left. Wine, Mitchell. Short kick, Foster's on the end of it. He'll run away from centre-half back and kick it towards centre-half forward. Marking contest back there. A big punch from Nettlebeck. Fripp and McPherson. McPherson favoured by the bouncing ball. Kicks it towards centre-half forward. No mark. At the back, Royal will kick a goal. He does.
So a goal to Brian Royal there. That's his second. And Footscray go to 24-12, 156 to the Swans 16-16, 112. We're about to take some stations over to Perth for the game at Subi. 156 to 112, a 44-point lead to the Bulldogs. And that's a pretty good victory coming up here against a team which had knocked off the West Coast Eagles here 2 weeks ago. Remember, the Eagles were minor premiers last year by 3 games. Swans out of the middle, comes down to Kapler. High ball towards the 50-metre line. Till he can't take the mark. Comes to Strooper. One out contest. Tundridge is up there. Campbell in front. Tundridge steals it but can't kick the goal. Mansfield.
Clears with a scrubber of a kick, but it's effective. Gains about 35 metres. Poor old Brad Tundridge up in the goal square. Couldn't quite get out of his own way there. Kelly kicked across his body. Campbell flies high, can't mark. Lewis dragged off the football. Sexton away to Liberatore, and the Bulldogs combination is good. Baxter from defence and Coleman in front of his face. That was a good mark. Coleman looking for the short kick. It's there, Baxter. Player running wide with Wallace. Now he kicks wider still. And really to the advantage of Nettlebeck. Oh, down goes Royal. And that was rather cool by Nettlebeck. Royal right half forward. Short kick, Grant marks. Swans looking a little bit of a rabble in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Grant, 3 goals to his name. Kicking from about 35 metres. His greatest concern would be the angle. He kicked a beautiful goal from a similar position in the second term. Oh, hit the post. 3 goals, 2 to Chris Green. Nettlebeck. It's much better with the short hair. Last year, of course, he wore a headband. His kick in short. Under pressure there was Mitchell. Liberatore leaves it for Hawkins. Skillfully, still got it. decides to go back to Atkins. He'll turn to McPherson. His short kick, nearly smothered by Royal. Now a chance for McGovern. Kicks it long, but no one home for the Swans. Wallace, as easy as you like. Hand passes away to Mansfield.
Mansfield walks around. Good shepherding by Atkins. Wide for Hawkins. Home spoils. Down to Dale Lewis in front. Kick by Lewis up to centre wing. Looking for Bays. Foster a spoil. Foster pokes it over the top to Coleman. Galaxy, Glenn Coleman. Centering kick. On his own in the centre square is Wine. Off to Liberatore. Don't tell me he's going to kick another. Delray might kick another.
Lovely mark.
Well, Danny Delray's been kicking them in the twos, but to come back and kick 7 in the seniors, it's a big return.
Yes, he's certainly earned his keep today. If he hadn't have taken that mark, Doug Hawkins was sitting there right behind him in support.
Danny Delray hasn't kicked his 7 yet. He's got 6, but he's kicking this one from inside 10 metres. Pretty tight angle. No problem. It's almost Templetonian. 7 goals from a Footscray forward.
Yes, and it's that tandem there of Hawkins and Delray has worked very well, and they've been complemented very nicely by Chris Grant as well with his 3 goals. And Libba wouldn't have been having a shot. Very unselfish rover he is, would have set that up. Apart from the fact he may not have made the distance anyway.
(25-13) plays 16-16, under 5 minutes left. Smith tackle on Wheeler. Ball not going anywhere there as Tony Liberatore. He's a lively customer, isn't he? If he's not tackling and not kicking goals and
He's having a
feeding
chat.
the ball out.
Having a chat.
No, he's a terrific little goer, Tony Liberatore, and a great example for anybody of that similar height. You really show that you know, you've got the determination. You can succeed in AFL footy. There's a good mark taken by Strooper, and he's doing a few good things in the latter part of the game. That short pass, well done, Barry Mitchell. He knew he was going to be in a bit of trouble there, but he stood his ground and took the mark. It's about 40 metres out, so it'll be a testing kick for him. And we see once again he's strapped up like Cardigan Bay, Barry Mitchell. Not a bad kick. It's a goal. Well done. 2 goals to Barry Mitchell. 17-16, 118 to the Swans, and Footscray 25-13, 163.
It's been a good battle here between Liberatore and Mitchell, respective rovers of each side, with Atkins being looked after by Bunt, and the prime movers have had a bit of influence on the game today. Mitchell's tried very hard, as he normally does, and just reward there for a fine mark.
Three and a half minutes remaining. Smith chopped off by Carroll. Lawson on his own out on the wing. It's a full forward. West got underneath it. Foster first back there. Caught by Tundridge. Chance for Bays. It comes to Strooper. He throws it out to Bays, and the umpire pings him for the throw. Got to go back. Leonard Toohey at his 3rd pub after Geelong and Sydney. Punch from behind. There's one over the shoulder there, said the umpire. Footscray free kick. Playing out time, Glenn Coleman. 3 minutes remaining. 163 plays 118. Ball gets through to the back. Colin Newcastle. Good pick up, then lost it. Home, back to Hawkins. Good boy by Hawkins. Chris Grant stumbles. Out to Atkins. Hurry kick. Delray can't keep it in. Behind to Atkins.
goes back in towards the centre of the ground. Tapped by Gareth John. Lawson away to Lewis. Has a bit of a look. Can see that he's clear. And then kicks it very, very long up and towards the full court. And a good mark to West. Well done. It's quite a reasonable game. Well done. Good contribution.
He's had a good tussle up there. It was, but he controlled it very well.
And then kicked the shocker.
Shouldn't give a bloke a rap.
4 threes kicked. 17-17, 25-14. So the difference is 35 points once again.
Status quo in the last quarter. Actually, Footscray
45.
Footscray blotted their copybook. 5-7 in this last term. They were 20 goals 7 up to three-quarter time. McPherson getting back there. Comes to Lewis. He's got support in Mitchell. Over the top to Kapler. Oh, well done by Baxter. Liberatore. Through Mansfield it goes. Baxter on the bounce to Wallace. Footscray hungry for more. Atkins. Coleman, he's got Grant free. Couldn't get the hand pass over the top quickly enough. Glenn Coleman's kick to half forward. That's not great. Royal is the only chance. Lawson, an overhead mark. Run down by Grant. Great stuff by the Footscray forward. Now Fripp for the Swans. West again. No. Then applies the tackle. Mitchell, West. Another throw.
Well, the umpire was on the blind side, but deciding that couldn't possibly have come out legitimately, so penalised. Footscray go forward. Foster and Liberatore combine up towards centre half forward now. Lawson will come away, and he goes with the torpedo punt kick. It goes 60 metres. West has got it. Handball away. Chance there for Dunkley, but his kick has been marked by Campbell. Plays on quickly, Tony Campbell. Kicks it out towards half-back where McPherson marks. He must have had about 12 kicks in this last quarter, Steve McPherson. His kick into the centre goes to Liberatore. Looking for the handball over the top. Good running by Smith. He was over where McPherson took the mark. And now he kicks it forward of the centre, up towards full forward. At the back, Holmes could get run down by Royal. No. Kicks it out wide. No one home out there. Strooper. Handball over the top, Wheeler. Gets through and then kicks nicely up towards half forward. No mark taken, and the siren sounds to put the Swans out of their misery. And the Dogs have won this match today at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And well done, Footscray. They now have 3 wins and 1 loss, and they've won this convincingly. 25-14, 164. Sydney 17-17, 119. And Danny Delray, who was just in the picture, the leading goal scorer in the match. He kicked 7.